The oldest and most prestigious event on the MGA calendar, the 108th Met Amateur Championship, began on Thursday, July 29th at Quaker Ridge Golf Club in Scarsdale, New York. It was the fourth time the Met Amateur has visited this classic A.W. Tillinghast course that winds between mature trees and features sloping greens and deep, difficult bunkers. Quaker Ridge is one of the finest clubs in the country, and the entire field of amateur golfers all across the Met area looked forward to the Met Amateur competition. More than 800 players from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut entered the Met Amateur and attempted to qualify for the championship by virtue of 5 qualifying rounds across the Met area. Following those qualifying rounds and adding in the 31 exempt players, a starting field of 76 took to Quaker Ridge to attempt to make it to match play. The first day of the Met Amateur is a test of both talent and endurance. To advance to match play, 36 holes of stroke play qualifying are required. At the end of Thursday, the medalist was 2009 Met Amateur champion and 2009 MGA Player of the Year Cameron Wilson of Shorehaven. Wilson, 17, who will be a freshman at Stanford University this fall, shot a first-round 66 and followed it up with a 69 for a total of 5 under par 135. Wilson gained the number 1 seed, and right behind him with the number 2 seed was Albertson of Bethpage, who shot a course record 64 in the afternoon to finish with a 137 total. Other notable players to make match play include 2006 and 2008 Met Amateur champion Tommy McDonough of Shorehaven, who was at 138, along with Max Buckley of Westchester and 2010 Ike champion Mike Ballo Jr. of Woodway. Evan Beirne of Bethpage won the Hoxter Memorial here in June. He took the number 6 seed into match play with a total of even par 140. Other stars of the first day include 2010 Met Junior champion Mike Miller of Knollwood, who shot 141 over the 2 rounds, along with Alex Hedford of Neshannock Valley and Bernard D'Amato of Wheeler Park, who also came in at 141. 16 players returned to Quaker Ridge on a beautiful, less humid Friday morning to begin round of 16 play. In the round of 16, the cream rose to the top. 5 of the matches did not reach the 15th hole as the talented field exerted their influence over their opponents and the difficult Quaker Ridge layout. Cameron Wilson, after losing the first 2 holes, roared back to win 4 in a row to defeat Spitalny 6-4. Other players turning in dominating performances in the round of 16 included Mike Ballo Jr., who defeated Gerard Connolly 7-6. Tommy McDonough, who defeated Oconee 7-6. And Mike Miller, who defeated Bernard D'Amato 5-4. Wilson, Miller, Ballo, and McDonough, all former champions of MGA events, formed a very difficult top half of the bracket and would be the quarterfinal matchups. On the other side of the bracket, 39-year-old Hans Albertson defeated Dylan Crawley 2 up. While Alex Hedford continued his hot summer of play, defeating Dan Gable of Dutchess 3-2. While in the closest match of the round of 16, Brian Pendrick of Oyster Bay, who lost the first 2 holes to Max Buckley, came back to defeat the Westchester County youngster 1 up. The quarterfinal matches were set. The first match off would be number 1 seed Cameron Wilson against number 8 seed Mike Miller in a matchup of two of the best junior golfers the Met area has ever seen. This match provided all the drama and excitement that the fans came to expect. Neither player ever led by more than a 2-up margin, and the match was all square or 1-up in either direction for most of the match. One of the turning points of the match was the 17th green, where Mike Miller missed a 6-foot putt. The match went to the 18th tee all square. On the 18th hole, Wilson drove it into the trees, but hit his approach on the green, leaving himself a putt for birdie. With the crowd gathered around the green, the calm, cool, collected defending champion sunk the birdie putt for a dramatic 1-up victory. Right behind them, the drama was continuing. McDonough of Penn State and Ballo, a St. John's graduate, both of Connecticut, were engaged in a tight back-and-forth match. The match was all square heading to the 17th tee, and McDonough would exert control from there. He parred the final 2 holes for a hard-fought 2-up victory over Ballo. Quietly going about his business elsewhere on the course was Evan Beirne. This player knows Quaker Ridge as well as anyone else in the field, and he used that course knowledge to defeat Brian Pendrick 5-3. But the match of the day in the quarterfinal round belonged to Alex Hedford and Hans Albertson. Hedford, a sophomore at Pacific University who plays out of Neshannock Valley Golf Course in New Jersey, and Albertson, a 39-year-old Westchester County resident, were nip and tuck the entire way. Neither player led by more than 1-up, and as they reached the back nine, the drama thickened. The par 4 15th hole provided a highlight shot from Hedford. He hit his 142-yard approach to within 2 feet for a conceded birdie and a 1-up lead. But again, the back-and-forth nature of the match revealed itself as Albertson won the 16th hole after Hedford hit a poor chip from in front of the green and missed his par putt. It came down to the last 2 holes, and both players halved them to extend the match. After both players made 5 on the par 5 opening hole at Quaker Ridge, the match went to the par 4 second hole, the 20th hole of the match. It was here that Albertson's fate was sealed. He pushed his drive out of bounds, while Hedford striped one down the middle of the fairway. After Hedford hit safely onto the green, Albertson gamely went for the flag in an attempt to hit his shot close and force the match to another hole. But it was not to be. Hedford hit his first putt 5 feet past the hole, and when Albertson failed to hole his bunker shot, he conceded the match. It was Hedford 1-up on the 20th hole. The 4 semifinalists, Cameron Wilson, Tommy McDonough, Evan Beirne, and Alex Hedford, will return to Quaker Ridge on Saturday, July 31st for the semifinals. Thank you for watching video from the first 2 days of the 108th Met Amateur Championship. There'll be more highlights coming from Sunday's final match, so stay tuned to www.mgagolf.org.